Right. Well, hello. I don't know if y'all could hear us though. So, let me play this, see
Let's
if we
see.
can be heard. Can you hear us? Tell us if you can hear us. Wow.
There,
Hello. I don't know if
like
y'all
that.
can talk.
There we go.
So,
Check to see if you
um,
can hear us
let
out
me
here in these bare streets.
y'all talk. There we
Look
go.
out.
Check. You can hear us out here. Boom.
We're in
All right.
there.
So in the moment, sound check.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
Do what you got to do.
Y'all. Hello. Welcome. How y'all doing? Uh oh my goodness. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot that's been going on. But before we get into all of that, want to welcome you to So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. We are two real life cousins, and we're here to talk about stuff that we thought was normal in our families, but it was actually the recipe for family dysfunction. So we're on a mission to unpack all sorts of things, whether that be about mental health or about finding your voice or about what it's like to be living outside the country. We're sharing our stories, okay? And we're doing that to help others find their voices, to exercise our own voices, all of that. So we invite you on this journey of self-discovery, laughter, maybe even a little bit of healing, okay? So my name is Kimberland, Thailand, House of O'Neill, Jackson, and Adams, empathetic energizer, intuitive, inspirational innovator, seer of souls who are hurting, healer of hearts, and voice to the voiceless.
Amen.
What up?
She is in the building.
I'm here.
I am Kalonda of House Jackson, first of her name, assistant of entrepreneurs, beacon of banter, creator of content, dancer of dreams, and excellence enchantress. And also, don't forget, a NOLA native.
Period.
Every day.
Period.
So some of the cool things you can expect from us is first and foremost transparency. We're going to tell you how it is, how we feel at that moment. We are not experts by any stretch of the imagination in everything, but they are definitely things that we are experts in, and that's what we're going to talk to you about. If we don't know, we're going to get. I can talk. We're going to get you to those people because we also are great resource finders and connectors of people. So even if we don't have the answer, we can find someone who does. The other thing they expect from us is a grand old time because we are a flipping hoot. You just prepare yourself, strap in. It's a good time. Now,
Can I butt into your thing?
yes.
So yesterday when I was with Amber, on the outing, I'll tell y'all about this in a second, but I don't know what I was saying. I just be
It
talking.
happened. Uh-huh.
And they were like, "You are so funny." And I said, "I know."
Like I know I enjoy myself. I make myself laugh all the time. Glad to see that you also think so. Because I enjoy my humor for sure. Um, Now, with those expectations from us to you, we have expectations from you to us. First and foremost, being willing to go on this journey with us, just hanging out, listening, sharing your thoughts, interacting in the chat. We both have the chat up, so we'll be talking to you in there. If you have questions, comments, things you want to just let us know, feel free to drop it in there. We'll definitely be interacting with you. We want to also have you interact with our page. So comment, like, subscribe, share, react, press all the buttons, smash all the bells, forward to everybody all the good things. That is the freest way that you can support us as we grow in this journey and on this path. We've already hit our 1,000. We're up to 1,100.
I think it was 1128
At
this morning.
28. Look out. So it's continuing to grow. That's super exciting. We also just need to work as far as monetization on watch hours. So as you're joining and smashing and watching and pressing the buttons, take a look through our playlist on Minding My Black Ass Business on YouTube. Pick a couple videos, watch them. You don't even have to sit in front of the screen.
I thought about something though. You
Tell
know
us.
how when we were in school, and I think they might still do this,
Oh,
but
God.
like they they tell you that the kids will have like a fundraiser,
Yes.
and it'll be like pledge so many whatevers. What we need from you all is we need you to pledge to play our videos for a certain number of hours. So if y'all can tell us in the comments, whether you're watching this right now live or whether you're watching on the replay, tell us how many hours you can commit to playing our videos. You don't have to actively be sitting there. I will tell you, it's a great time though if you do choose to sit there. Because again, we're a hoot and we're really wise and also gorgeous. So like, just wins all around. I mean, but back to the point. Tell us how many hours that you're willing to commit to having our videos playing, because right now we need about 2,000 watch hours to get monetized. Okay. So, and also though, it's a moving target because it's within the last year. So the year is renewing every day, you know? So, what we need y'all, let me say it one more time, just in case you ain't hearing me. Okay, let me say it. Let me take this down in case you're reading and you're not listening. Okay, zone in. So what we need to increase our watch hours so that we are able to get monetized and bring y'all even better content and more content and better quality and all of that. A very free way is absolutely free. Okay, is put on our videos and let them play. Whether you choose to sit there or not, let them play. So what we need you to do is tell us in the comments how many hours you commit to having our videos play. Okay? Thank you so much. So along with that, Kalonda just mentioned share our content. So that's the other thing. We're at 1,128 subscribers. Man, it was a fight to get here, but we here. Okay. And we want to increase that because this is the thing that we know is that people are looking for us. Mm-hmm. And people, algorithms, I don't know if you all, like, I remember when algorithms first came out and I was like, I don't even really know what that means. And people would blame stuff on the algorithm. And now I feel like it's much more obvious that there are algorithms, especially like with TikTok and like all of that stuff that was happening. But I said all that to say, algorithms do not necessarily automatically feed our content to the people that are looking for us. Mm-hmm. So we need you to help connect. Right? So when you're out, you're talking about the different things that are going on. You're talking about what you learned on our podcast. Like, we would love for you all to share with people, oh, you should check out this YouTube page. Go subscribe to Black women who are out here choosing a different path and a different life and blazing trails and telling y'all all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes because people don't be talking
at all.
Okay.
And it's also possible.
It's also possible. So if you will do that, that would be a big help to us. We also want to remind you all that we have a segment called Ask An Auntie. And during Ask An Auntie, this is where you get to ask aunties questions, right? I know we don't look like we're old enough to be aunties, but we are. We really are. And I have like really been like accepting that more and more every day. Like I'm show enough an auntie, like, you know, but at any rate, you might have questions and things that you want to talk about. So today we do have a submission that is linked to something that's going on that we're going to talk about for Ask An Auntie. But the way that you can submit is go to tinyurl.com/askanauntie. And there you can give us your scenario, your questions, what have you. You can stay anonymous if you would like. It is totally fine. But talk to us. Let us know the things and we will talk to you about our opinions of the things and give you some sage advice and maybe also some shenanigans because I be about it. I be about it a lot.
Okay. Be ready to ride.
I do. And y'all might not know that about me.
She be ready to ride. So share accordingly.
So the last announcement, if you all are wanting to appear on the show as a guest, you don't have to be here in Colombia with us. We have the ability to be virtual. You can be anywhere across the world. So if you're saying to yourself, I would love to hang out with them, they're the bestest in the whole wide world. You're right. And also the way that you would do that is go to send us an email at mindingmyblackbusiness@gmail.com with the subject line, "Let me on there."
Art.
And that is how you will get inserted into the pool of people who can be on the show. But also just letting you know, you do have to have syrup on your grilled cheese. It is mandatory. Okay. So I'm putting that out there. Okay. Then the very last thing, our Patreon, y'all. So our Patreon is the behind the scenes access. Shout out to our Patreon. We have a new Patreon member, Jasani, who joined. So welcome
Jasani.
to Jasani and the Patreon crew. Also, Xavier upgraded to Sunflower staff. So I was like, okay, so you can also do that if you're currently in our Patreon and you're at the $5 level. You can give up to $25 a month. We appreciate it all. Every single bit of it, again, goes to helping us make more content, helping us be able to talk about the things that we're doing and bring you better quality and all of that. So go to patreon.com/mindingmyblack-ass-business. We appreciate your support more than you can even understand, because your support is going to stuff like paying the rent, having food in our stomach. Like, that's where your support goes to. So we are deeply grateful. If you're like, girl, here's this $5, thank you so much. And in exchange, you get to hang out with us and you get to see the behind the scenes stuff that is happening. So to that point, I made quite a couple. I think I did maybe 2 or 3 posts in the Patreon this week, because a lot's been going on, and a lot has been going on. And so with our transparency moments, the title of our show today is Moving Mayhem. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So I guess let me kind of set the stage for how we got here, right? So I moved to Colombia in December of 2022. And the way that it works when you move to Colombia with a U.S. passport is that you get 90 days in the country upon arrival. After or during that time, you have the opportunity to extend for another 90 days, which gives you 180 days in Colombia as a U.S. citizen per calendar year. So what a lot of people do is they come in July and then they renew, then they stay till December. They go to another country, they come right back, and then they stay January and renew, and then stay till June. And that gives you an entire year on a tourist visa, okay? So I had did that, and then there was another point in time that I had a digital nomad visa, and that visa is also pretty easy to navigate, and it gives you a year in the country without having to leave and extend and all that kind of stuff. So for a digital nomad visa, I don't remember how much it costs right now. I want to say, how much the income requirement is right now, because you have to be making income outside the country. But I want to say it's maybe $900 a month, maybe, is what you have to show that you are getting independently. You have to have health insurance, and then you have to have a letter saying that you are able to work outside the country. It's fairly simple. So I had that, right? And then that expired, right? And then there was a time, if y'all been following me for a little while, I had to go back to Mexico City for a little bit, and then I came back, right? Okay, so then I was here, and then because I'm on a tourist visa, because I wasn't working, I wound up having to do a trip to Panama, bust my chin wide open. Okay, so anyway,
Happy New Year.
Right. So it was a lot. It's a lot that's been going on. So anyway, the current apartment, or the last apartment, this is the current apartment, the last apartment that we were in, I got into that apartment March 4th of 2024. So my lease was getting up. So I'm like, all right, Bears, the lease is ending, and we're gonna have to make some decisions and such about where we're gonna live and all of these things and what this looks like. So because of craziness that's happening in the US, there's a lot of contract issues and fulfilling issues and invoices not being honored. And it's a lot that's going on if you work in any of those sectors right now. So we weren't able to get the original Airbnb that we wanted to get, right? So we wound up in a situation of, okay, we just don't have to do like a temporary, and then we'll find another Airbnb to go to. So all of this was happening at the end of the month. And also, I'm going to throw in there, this is, if you're in Patreon, you already know this, but I went to go see about the process for seeking asylum because that's one of the questions that gets asked a lot in the expat groups and things, of people being like, do you think it's possible? Like all of that. So since I'm here, I went to ask some questions about the process of seeking asylum. If you want more information about that, you can book time with me for me to give you the ins and outs, because right now I'm still in the process, so I can't really say too much about it on this internet. Okay. But anyway, so there was a thing about that. I posted about that and I was like, y'all, I'm going to see about the things and, I'm going to see what the process looks like for asylum. So while that's happening, we originally were supposed to be out of the original apartment on what month is this? March 2nd.
Yes.
Okay. So that meant we didn't want to have to like move everything in one day. We too old for that. Okay. Nobody got time. So we wanted to have a little bit of room, a little overlap to be able to go gracefully and calmly from one place to the next. All right. So we booked the first apartment. I want to say February 28th is when.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So on February 28th. Yeah. So Kalonda and Bianca go to the first new apartment. And then I stay at the old apartment to wrap up things and finish doing the inventory and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you want to tell?
So part of this story is also I had just been out of the country because my visa also ended. So I had to take a quick little trip, go to Peru, to Lima for a little bit. Phenomenal, loved it. There's a beach there. They do have sand, but the beaches that I saw had rocks. Sound amazing, phenomenal time, great food, loved it. Need to go back, spend more time there. Anyway, so I come back on like the 26th.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. So I didn't unpack from Peru. I just packed all the rest of my stuff so we could leave.
I forgot that was.
It was.
This has all happened since our last episode.
Correct.
Girl, this feels like a year worth of time.
2 weeks.
Oh my God.
But we have moved 3 times in 2 weeks.
Okay, go ahead. Wow, I forgot that part.
So come back, pack up everything, get ready. Okay, we're going to go to the new place. So first, obviously when you're moving with 3 people, there's a lot of things to consider. There's a lot of moving parts. And like my mind is already ready to do all the backflips. So I'm already trying to like read everybody's mind. And just kind of figure out what's going to make everybody comfortable. So we get in this. First off, Uber XL. Love Uber. Uber, you're the best. Thank you so much. Unless you're embroiled in something that I don't know anything about.
This is not
but please let me know because I will retract it. But right now, with the knowledge that I have, Uber, you're amazing. Thank you. However, there is, like we've talked about this before, there are no big cars here in Medellin. Like they, cute little hatchbacks, like they get you from point A to point B, but sometimes they might not have a trunk, or it might be a smaller trunk, or they might have a 10-inch sub in the back of their trunk because bump, bump, bump. But do your thing. So we have all of this stuff that we need to move. So we're trying to order Uber XLs. No haps, no Uber XLs to be found. So we're like, okay, we're just gonna get 2 regular Ubers and then fill it up to capacity and then hope we can also get our bodies in there as well. So great time. So we get in the Ubers, go separate places. I think I get there first. Excuse me. Unpack all my belongings onto the sidewalk because it's like in the middle of like downtown. Was that Lorella's? No,
that was Sabaneta.
So where we are currently, but another area, not far from. But like the downtown part of it. So like just everything next to the dollar store, next to the bus stop. I got all my stuff out, and sometimes when you pack, it's not the most efficient. So there were like trash bags of things because we wanted to do laundry, like all this stuff. So I'm trying to get into the building, so I'm calling so they can open the door. I get the door open. I'm trying to hold the door open with my foot while I'm dragging all my suitcases and bags in. Luckily, this sweet little lady at the bus stop like saw me and started like pushing my stuff towards me, so I didn't have to stretch so far. Bless her heart. Thank you. So I get all that, but I'm also knowing Bianca's in the Uber maybe 4 or 5 minutes behind me. Get that in, run up, well, up the elevator. I wasn't running up nothing. Get upstairs. Hurry up and get that stuff in. So I barely even really look at the unit because I'm like, let me hurry up, go back downstairs so I can meet Bianca and so she doesn't have to do the leg stretch thing. So I get in, I leave everything. This is key. I leave everything, go back downstairs. I'm waiting. Don't see Bianca. I'm like, now I know as soon as I go upstairs, because my phone is upstairs. As soon as I go upstairs, they're gonna show up. So I need to make sure I'm gonna just wait. So I'm like, this is a really long time. Like now they're either lost, like something's happening. I need to go get my phone. I get in the elevator, run out of the elevator. Bianca's standing at the door, bless her heart, leaning on all her belongings that she's gotten in by herself. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why didn't you wait for me? So we get everything in the apartment. So now we can actually start seeing. And we're like, well, this is going to be interesting. So we like immediately go to the bathrooms to kind of see what the bathrooms look like. And we're like, So then we start looking at the pictures on the listing to be like, is that what it said? So we're like, okay. So this is also like our first foray of moving into like something like this with all of us together. So we're like, all right, everybody's just trying to like make it easy on everybody else. So no one's really saying anything. We're just like, okay, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna find a way to make it work. Ciao. I was like, this is not gonna be it. Like I don't know how if I need to call Kim, do I FaceTime her?
Because I'm back at the old
She's
apartment,
at the old
so
place.
I'm trying to get everything together and packed and ready to finish out the old apartment. So I don't know any of this is going on.
None of it. And like I'm already knowing that she's stressed. And so now I'm like, okay, so now I'm about to tell her either you're moving into this place that I don't think you're gonna like, or hey, we're gonna have to start this moving over process. Oh, well, isn't that interesting that she says that? Because at the moment,
Let me leave the comment on the screen for you all who might be listening and not watching. Bianca is in the comments and she says it was a hell no for me. So you heard Kalonda just say, so we're just trying to kind of like
go along to get along.
So what had happened? It sounds like there's a snitching moment.
Well, a snitching is about to happen. Snitch. So
you know that's my voice.
I know. I love it. So I'm like, we're neither one of us, Bianca nor myself, are really saying anything like this is not going to work. So we're both being pretty quiet. And I'm like, are you okay with this? And she's like, well, it's fine. You know, we could just be here for like 2 weeks. Because I think we were only staying for 2 weeks or something. Some reason there was 2 weeks in play.
Yeah, because we had the situation with the invoices. So I only had enough to be able to
so
get
we were only
2 weeks.
Staying there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, it's just 2 weeks. You know, this is temporary. Ciao. Then we go into, I believe, the kitchen. And it is a disaster, y'all. It is a disaster. There is mold in the dish rack. And it's like a flat dish rack with ridges. It's not like one of the standing wire ones. Mold just in it. Yeah, there was a smushed roach in between the cabinet. There's like dirt on top of the refrigerator. And like here, it's not usual to see a full size like fridge like you guys probably have in the States if you're watching in the States. They're usually like like the smaller apartment size ones. So, and I'm not tall, but I could see on top of the refrigerator. So I'm like, Now, supposedly someone had come to clean right before we got there.
That's what they had said in the message. They were like, the cleaning person is at the apartment. What time are y'all checking in? Like all of that.
All the things. So it wasn't like I assumed. They said someone had cleaned. So I'm just like, ain't no way. And then I think one of us opened the cabinet and like you could smell mold in the cabinet. I'm like, there's mold in there. Like, if you have mold in your house or want to know if you have mold in your house, call me. I'll smell it for you and figure it out because I will find mold.
Why would you volunteer that service?
I'm over here about to throw up. People need to know it's not safe. So immediately we're like, all right, what's the refund policy? How do we get out of this place? We need to message Kim and be like, hey, it's not looking too good. We working it out, but it's not looking too good right now.
And so if I can interject, I live with OCD.
Yeah.
So like not too good is not gonna work.
Right. No, and that's what I'm knowing. Like I'm knowing based on what you have stated your needs are, this is not too good at all. And then at one point, like you look at the pictures and you see all of like the descriptions and the furniture and whatever, and it looks like maybe they were taken like 5 years ago, right? So there's a couch that's like this pretty khaki color, nice modern couch. Where we go, it has like this brown seat cover, like chair cover. And this is after we've gone through the kitchen. So I'm like, I don't want to know what's under that couch. Here comes.
I think I'm good with the rest of the details. Go ahead and
people don't know.
Well,
Bianca comes over and then lifts up this couch. Y'all, there are just stains galore. Okay. And I've rented a lot of Airbnbs. And I've been in Airbnb short term, long term. Like, I've never encountered anything like this. I know this is not like their standard at all. But this was wild. It was like, no, not at all. So we're like taking pictures, taking video. Bianca's talking to Airbnb. She's using phenomenal language of like, this is a health and safety.
So that's what I was going to say. I think we need to be intentional about telling people how to get out of these situations. Yes. Because first of all, you need to have a terms and conditions. Did we tell them that we curse?
We do curse, y'all.
Okay, we curse.
Be aware.
I'm about to curse. You need to have a terms and conditions, bitch, on your circle. Okay, because that is who Bianca is. Okay, that girl got in them terms and conditions and was like health and safety. What was the rest that she
said? It was
like
health and safety. Oh God, I know that was the big one because it was the mold
and the pest.
Yeah.
So using that language when she messaged them, that it's automatic. It's against their contract,
Correct.
And they have to honor.
They have to act on that.
Their like.
There's no way around that.
Yeah. So I think that's important to say because if you find yourself in a situation like this, you don't have to just.
You don't have to wait for 2 weeks. Right. You can go. We were there maybe 2 hours.
2 hours.
Maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it was, the host was very nice. I mean, initially they did try to say like, oh, do you want, someone to come out and clean? And we're like, nah, especially if it's the same person that did the cleaning. Like that didn't help. No, thank you. No, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. There was
I'm like, I've had enough. I know that she can do a private message video because I'm over here about to scratch my skin off my body. God. It was not up to standard.
It was not. It was not. So that was move 1. Okay. So we get out of this move. We're able to get, full refunds, money back, all that good stuff. So now we gotta pack up all our belongings again. Call two more Ubers
to come back,
load them up. Thank you, Jesus. One of them was an SUV the second time. That was amazing. Side note, if you are in a place that does not have access to Uber XL, order Uber Comfort and then tell them, yes, you have bags. And then that typically will get you a larger vehicle or at least a vehicle large enough to hold your stuff. So tips on that as well. So we get all the stuff in the cars. We come on back to the last place where all 3 of us were. So we're like,
you don't have to say nothing. Keep talking. Thank you, Bianca, for adding into the comments.
It was wild, y'all. It was wild.
So y'all get back.
So we get back. We move all our stuff back in. The people at the porteria were like, "Can y'all do it?" I thought y'all left. Like, we did too. So move back. Okay, find a new place. Okay, we're gonna go to this new place. We had like 3 options, whatever. Okay, cool. We're gonna go to this new place. So now the move out date has been extended.
Okay, so I was supposed to check out on March 2nd, right? The owner of the property never respond. So I'm like, what time is you coming, girl? So then she's like, oh, March 4th. Aggravating, but also thank you because we didn't have nowhere to go. So it gave us a couple days. So now March 4th is the move out date. Correct. So we find the second new apartment.
Yes. Now, also to mention, she doesn't say this until the landlord doesn't say this, that, oh, the move out date is this date, until we're already packed up again to move to the second place.
Correct.
So we are in the living room with everything.
I want to cuss her out real bad now. She's watching it.
Already packed up. Everything's ready. Uber's about to be downstairs. And it's like, oh, y'all have more days. And it's like, well, I should pack. Like, the kitchen's packed up. Like, we're leaving. So we go to the next place. It's in a neighborhood, so we're already looking better. We're like, okay, it's a little quieter. This is Lorella's, which is, it's a cute little spot. There's stuff around. You can be to yourself, or you can get into the mix if you want. So I'm like, okay, cool. We get in that. We get all our stuff out. We got two
fully packed
Ubers. We'll go to get, I think, stuff out of my Uber. There's somebody had dropped like a smoothie or an ice cream or something. They dropped something, and Bianca inadvertently stepped in. So she like wiped her feet off in the grass, whatever. We get everything upstairs. Take our shoes off. We're like moving stuff around, but I'm like, I'm not unpacking until Kim gets here.
Oh, wow.
Because if all three of us aren't like, okay, cool, we're good, I'm not unpacking. I'm not doing this no more. Like, I was up to here.
Okay.
So I was like, it's not happening. Like, we're going to just move this stuff. We're going to wait. We're going to look and see, right? Because it was just an interesting setup of this house. Like, you walk in the front door and the bathroom is immediately like to your right. Like, you walk in, you see the guest toilet, which is fine if
it's fine if you don't have OCD.
Correct.
So, OCD. This is the thing. I'm like, I don't know. I was a science teacher. Okay. So I know that my former students understand this. Dirt transfers, germs transfer. So I'm watching. I might not be saying nothing, but I am watching everything. And all I'm thinking is, outside, dirty. All of these floors, dirty. Step inside, dirty. Bathroom. How am I? Even if we mop the floor and all that, because we was gonna have our person come and do a deep clean and all that. Even if you still got to come inside the door and take your shoes off, how am I gonna jump from clean floor to clean floor in the bathroom? What is this about to look like? So then it's like, okay, so I can't control that. So it's like, all right, so that means I just can't ever have my shoes, which are my house shoes, which are supposed to be clean, but they're not going to be clean because I got to walk over here where the front door is, where it's dirty because shoes from outside. So, okay, my house shoes just won't be clean. So then that means I won't be able to wear my house shoes in the bathroom. So I'll just have to leave the shoes outside the door of the bathroom so that I can step my bare feet on the rug. And this is the kind of mental gymnastics that I'm having to do to figure out how we can make this work, right? And I will say, well, I know you're about to get to that part, but I'll say for me, I was about to say the ants, but I know we're about to get to that. But for me, I was like, okay, I can, because I feel like I have to manage me. I live with OCD, so I have to figure out how to make myself feel comfortable, right? So I'm doing all this internal work, brain tired as fuck, okay? So, all right. So
that's all. So I'm already on, like, I'm not unpacking nothing. Okay, cool. So we moving stuff around, just trying to get in the place, assess what's going on, figure out how to use the dryer. That was fun. And then all of a sudden we see ants, but they're where Bianca's shoes were. And so she's like, oh man, they must be attracted to whatever this is. I'm gonna clean my shoes. So cool. So we're, cleaning up. Okay, cool. We think we got it. Well, they're still coming. And we're like, no, what's going on? Like, we have used bleach, we've cleaned the shoes, we've cleaned the floor, we've cleaned the baseboards. We're like, all right.
Mind you, this place was also just clean, right?
Correct.
So again,
another one that had just been cleaned.
Hey, the cleaning lady is there. And what time are y'all checking in? So I feel like I just want to pause here for a caveat for the Airbnb owners. Okay. If you own an Airbnb or manage an Airbnb, Go to the Airbnb and see if it's actually being clean. Go walk through the properties, because what happens is a lot of people own Airbnbs. They don't live. They don't even live in the country.
Right. They're not here.
Okay.
They have a property manager.
So they are not seeing that the toilet paper roll is falling off the hinges, or that there are holes busted in the wall, or like whatever. Like depending on the type of property management company that you have, or the type of cleaner that you have, they may not be doing a good job. And what also happens is people don't leave reviews,
accurate reviews, because there's no way that that's part of this too. But this particular unit didn't have reviews.
It was new.
Which
is often advantageous.
Correct.
Because you're the first one that's ever been in there.
Super motivated to impress you, so you leave a good review. Is that mindset. So put that in your pocket. The other part of that was we still did our due diligence, because we had just come out of this terrible situation of not really reading the reviews. So we're like, okay, we're going to find if this even makes sense to go to this place. Because I had wonderful Airbnbs that had no reviews, were brand new listings, and they were phenomenal. But anyway, so we just go to look for the host to see, okay, what does the host review say? Mm-hmm. And he had reviews, and his reviews were very good. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, I can see why. He's extremely engaging, super helpful. Yes. He was willing to do whatever we asked to really try to make us comfortable. Yeah. You know, during this stay. And
I'm talking fixing closet doors, luggage, fixing luggage. Like he was amazing. Yeah, the host was amazing.
Super responsive.
Yeah.
But
the place was not.
The place was not. And it was just over time. Like we could see like the baseboards had not been cleaned. Like there was dust on them, like going through the drawers, the side of the microwave. And this stuff sounds nitpicky, but it's not. If your house was like that, more times than not, you would want to change that situation. So
unless you live in Squalor, and you might live in Squalor, but guess what? We don't. And ain't finna start.
I was actively trying not to say
because they would be like, well, I mean, my shit dusty right now. That's no, and also I ain't finna be up in there. Okay, I just want to make that clear.
And there's a difference between dusty and dirt.
Facts. Because there was greasy dust. So like this hasn't been clean.
There. It's not just like, please don't get me wrong. Like I understand regular use and whatever. Like I'm not tripping on that. I'm not white gloving nothing, because I don't know.
It's not that deep, and I don't even need to know that. Right. My degree is in biology, so all I'm seeing is cultured plate,
microbes,
and all the stuff that's in the damn microscope. That's what I'm seeing, because I've done the experiments. I understand, so I try to keep myself as out of the loop as I can be. But when you put it in my face, oh God,
I get
me out of here.
I can see it. So okay. So we're working with the host. He is amazing. Like, just again, I cannot sing his praises enough. Super sweet guy. We just can't get rid of these ants. He comes by, he brings ant spray. And I was even telling Kim, I'm like, at home, I know what to do. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Home Depot, I'm gonna go get some borax powder, some Raid ant spray, some bait traps, or all these things, but I don't know what chemicals are allowed here. I don't know, what's available, accessible. I don't even know what the version of Home Depot is here anyway.
Well, I found it the other day. But can I also say, we shouldn't have to be doing
we shouldn't have to figure this out. This is not my house. It's like going to a hotel. If you go to a hotel, you're not trying to figure out, that's control. That's not how that works.
You shouldn't be.
That you should not be.
And this, the other thing is that I want to encourage you again, that if you walk into these situations, be ready to walk back out.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have been in hotels or whatever before and been like, no. Because I also have done the opposite. I also have not said anything. And then I sat there and suffered the entire time. And I'm talking nervous system arrest. Like just nerves,
no rest.
Not at all. Like that cannot be how our home is.
Correct.
I don't care if it's just
and then with three very like sensitive people. So not even just your own personal feeling of the situation, but your ability to feel other people's feelings of the situation. That's a lot.
Because I'll say even the ants, like it really didn't bother me that much. I was very much like, okay, well, Andrea's gonna come and they're gonna bring some gel and then the ants will be gone. But when Bianca was like, it's a no, I cannot. Well, all right, well, we packing up then. Well, where we going?
And it was funny because Bianca and I had a conversation because y'all know I want to go to Bali. Like I have wanted to go to Bali. Still working it out in my head with the things there, but she kind of challenged me and she was like, "But you want to go to Bali?" And then I was like, "Well, there's a difference of expectation in Bali." I'm like, if I'm living in a villa in the middle of a rice paddy where the kitchen and half the house is outside, I expect bugs. They tell me there's bugs. There's a mosquito net on the bed. I know there's going to be bugs here. I'm in the middle of downtown Medellin. I've lived in, at least at this point now, 2 to 3 Airbnbs here and have not dealt with ants.
And I've lived at about 6, and that has not been a situation. So that
I'm
has
not expecting and or really wanting to live with ants
correct
here.
Yeah.
If there were ants in Bali, I would understand that. If that was
we
that
outside
situation, if I'm outside.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a luxury apartment complex, I'm not expecting ants.
Yeah. Right.
So part of, and I'll talk about it later too, is the standard is the standard is the standard. And after we left the first place, and I like pinky swore, like, if there's an issue, we're going to say something. We're not going to do this again. So then we get to that next place and we still kind of were like, well, let's see, how do we make it work? Like, how do we do this? Like, how can we fix it? So even just honoring yourself and saying like, this is not it.
Yeah.
But I also understood the frustration, and then there's like tied up money, and like, it's not as simple as just
get up and go.
Go. But, you do have to weigh those things out if you find yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
So it was just a mess.
So 1 a.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m., something, Bianca was like, I can't. So then it's like, okay, well, we moving tomorrow. So get the things together, right? So then I'm like, because again, I was making myself zen in my room. I had gone to IKEA and I had gotten like some carpet tiles and rugs because again, I'm real particular about what I put my feet on. Okay, so I was like, let me have me a nice little tile. Like I'm making it work, and feeling cozy. The bathroom though, I've had a little bit more I had to do with that, right? So anyway, so we decide that at like 1 a.m. So again, terms and conditions. Bianca is like, hey, so we've been trying to figure this out or whatever, and she'll have to say, she's in the comments, so she'll have to like give. I feel like a masterclass need to be, because by the time she finished with Airbnb, they found us this new apartment that we're in. So this the 3rd apartment. Found us this apartment, helped us to check in, helped to facilitate everything, reimbursed for Ubers, like,
because at this point we are up to like 6 Ubers on one move. Like,
and from Laureles to Sabaneta is about 45 minutes. So it's also significant amounts of time, right? And just the physical act of moving and not being settled. If you're someone who is used to, I found out early in this expat journey, if you will, that I'm not the person that's jumping from place to place every 2 weeks. Like I need to sit down and stay for a while, because it's too much for my nervous system to have to readjust to a new bathroom, it's too much. So I learned really early that I needed to be somewhere at least a month, but preferably 3 to 6, unless I decide this is a place that works for me. But again, it's in the honoring of self and like what you need to have in order to feel safe, and communicating that. Right? Because internally, we're all having these internal conversations and internal meltdowns. I was having a lot of meltdowns. I'm talking crying, like but I don't mean that. I mean like crying. I got to take a shower and I can't move. I am paralyzed right now. Like it was a lot. but we have to be, like you say, intentional about saying, this is my standard and this does not work for me.
Right.
And there are some things, for instance, like we're still going to have somebody come here and clean this place, right? To just know, okay, it was actually clean, right? Because at this point, I don't even trust cleaning people. What is y'all doing?
Right.
What is y'all? You know?
We know Andrea is amazing.
And has integrity.
And will be like, hey, I couldn't get this out, or this is what you like, you may have to follow up with this. It was wild. Like at one point the host, bless his heart, was like, you know, well, answer normal here. Which I will tell you, one of the Uber drivers when I was moving was like, oh, answer normal. And I was like, I've lived in a few Airbnbs and they were not normal in the house. But he was saying, oh, you have to put like, you know, the honey, make sure all that stuff is clean. And I'm like, okay, so now we can't leave anything out, which I mean, we're not leaving just food out, but it's like, all right, well, we put a loaf of bread in the pantry, brand new loaf of bread that just gotten delivered, put it in the pantry. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. This is what made me have to say, no, hell no.
The bread.
Was the bread.
Yeah.
There were ants inside the bread. Inside this new loaf of bread. So when the Uber driver was like, oh, you don't like ants? And I was like, I don't like ants. No me gusta mohaki.
I don't know. I didn't even learn the word.
I knew the word a minute ago because I definitely used it in the Uber. En mi casa o mi pan. And he was like, what? So I was like, yeah, I don't like ants in my bread, in my house or in my bread. Like, I feel like that's normal. I feel like that's
but that word normal is subjective, right? Because again, I've lived here in Medellin for 2+ years and I've been in about 6 different Airbnbs. There has never been ants. So yes, are there ants here in the city? Sure. Are they in the house and the cabinets and everywhere? No. And I don't have to accept that as normal. No. Also, thank you for helping us to move Airbnb. Also, this is not sponsored, but if you want to, we sure enough appreciate it.
You know?
Okay.
So this place that we found was funny because this is a very interesting like search stuff. So Bianca found this, but I was like, well, how come I didn't find it? Because I had been looking through a lot of the Ubers and like Airbnbs and different properties, and I was like, how come it didn't show up? So I saw her do her search, and she doesn't use filters, which is very interesting. So I'm like, okay, filter out the stuff that I don't, because I want to look at all of them, you know. So she was looking at all of these in this particular unit. The description, like what the host wrote, said that it has a washer and dryer, hot water, all the things. But in like the selection pieces, they didn't select that it had a dryer.
So it wasn't putting it in the right filter.
It didn't show it to me, but it showed it to her. So thank God. This place, I don't know if you want to do your like feeling of walking into it first.
Yeah, I did. I got here first. And I definitely the view is gorgeous. Like the views are absolutely gorgeous. I could tell that it had been cleaned. I could tell that there was intentionality. So even like having plants is some live plants is something that is not, I mean, if you can imagine like having an Airbnb and people turning over all the time, like people kill plants. So, so it was clear that there was intention. There are fans in every room. There are rugs in the bathroom. There are lamps in the bedroom. Like, yeah. So it was evident that this was going to be a more cared for place. I did want to say too, though, with the dryer thing. So a dryer is not something that I need because I'm used to living here now. So you just the clothes air dry and it becomes very therapeutic for me. But it's something that's important for them. So then it was like, okay, so that narrows the pool of places that we can go because dryers are not normal here, right? They're not common. Like it's the city of eternal spring. It's fine. Put it on the line. You know, it's how things work as well. So when you're searching too, you also have to ask yourself, what are the non-negotiable things, right? So for instance, like a non-negotiable is a kitchen. A non-negotiable is that we had two bathrooms. A non-negotiable is that we had the ability to have appropriate internet because we work on the internet and we stream, you know. So you have to really think through, again, to your point, the standard is the standard. You have to think through what you need for you to be able to be successful at this particular place and to feel safe and all of that. But anyway, this place is much more cared for, and the owner is amazing. Like just the way that they helped to facilitate the exchange with Airbnb. We were able to check in when we got here. The Porteria was expecting us, so they were just like, we just need to verify that you're you. Like it's been very smooth. I haven't yet gotten to the meditation room and all of those things, but there are amenities here that are amazing. Rooftop views. They have a cornered office type view situation. So yeah, this place is nice.
It is fun because I know you were saying like just the emotions, going through the emotions. Like this last move was just very taxing and just like not knowing what you're going to walk into. Feeling like you've done your due diligence, you've asked the questions, you've done the things, and so you're like, please, please, Jesus, let this be okay. Please. Like let this work. And again, keeping in mind that knowing that it's to other people outside of yourself, you know, and wanting to honor that as well. So I'm like, okay, you know, Bianca and I both had been like having our own moments before we left. So we get here, we get all the stuff up the elevator. And so I open the door, and like Kim said, the views are amazing. So I see this gorgeous view. It looks like the pictures. Like the furniture is beautiful. You can tell they were like
it's handcrafted.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the end table, dining room table, like the cabinetry, the door frames. Like it's immaculate, right? So I go back out into the hallway because Bianca's like getting stuff ready so I can just pull it in. And I was like, put that down and just come inside. Well, she was like, is it about to be some bullshit?
I know, because I was also about y'all got to use more words when y'all said for real, because that can cause anxiety to just come. Hey, I want you to come and see the view. I want you to come and see how gorgeous, or like something.
So I'm like, just come with me. Like I'm gonna set you up for film. So I'm like, just come with me. I'm like, it's good. So then she comes in and it's just like I could see her shoulders relax. She took a breath. You know, like it has been a lot. It has been a lot. I know I saw the washer and dryer and the ice maker on the refrigerator.
Which that's rare, an ice maker.
An ice maker.
Yeah.
I almost cried. Like it was literally the little things, and it was just we are all so stretched at this point that those are the things that can reduce or bring, not even reduce, but bring out the emotion, because it's just been, you've been holding it together as best you can. And it's just like, okay, I can finally, like, I can finally unmotherfucking pack. Like, that's all I want. That's literally all I wanted, was to not have to unzip another to get anything. Because I was playing the game, because again, I moved in the middle of coming back and then did that 2 more times. So where shit normally is not where it is today. So it's like, oh, I think it's over there. Oh wait, that's over there. And like it was a lot, y'all. So I am so grateful. And I know that we are so blessed. And my mom was funny, because she was like, well, you know, maybe you had to go through the other 2 so you could appreciate this 3rd one. And I was like, well,
we could have started here.
Jesus, you know, for future reference.
We don't need to do all that.
We would have been grateful.
At all. Very much. Very much. Okay.
Very grateful. Did not have to go through the trials and tribulations, and I thought we left that subscription back in last year.
Baby.
So yeah, moving here, amazing. And like Kim said, they have like a meditation floor where you look out on the views, sit down, it's gorgeous. The rooftop, there's like a hibachi grill bar area, then like the pool, the jacuzzi, everything. So it's like, I can breathe.
Yeah.
Like I can breathe. So yes, moving mayhem, don't underestimate it, how much it can be trying on your spirit. And if you're moving with other people, even if it's in the States, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Having to go through your belongings, decide what comes with you, decide what can't come with you. How do I make this new space feel like home? Like there are a lot of steps in that I don't think people really realize, especially when you're ADHD on the spectrum, all the things like it's not just, oh, I moved.
Correct.
It's not
Yeah.
just the one big, I put everything in a box in a truck and it went away
Yeah.
at the new place. Like,
It's mentally taxing. It's
individual
mentally
steps.
taxing, I think, for anybody,
Yeah.
but especially for someone who is neurodivergent, is a lot of the stability is rooted in stability. You know, like predictability. Like, you know, so like you said, for me, I pack in a very methodical way. So I know where all my stuff is.
Right.
So I'm not bothered to live out the
Right.
suitcase. But I get how it's like, where is my, I get
Kim
that.
was like, where are the mics for today's show? And I know I had them in my hand. And I know where they were because that's where they normally are. But now, Lord knows.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've reconfigured, like, oh, let's reduce the number of bags because we're getting in and out of Ubers. Like,
yeah, it's a lot.
Not a fun time.
It's a lot of considerations. So hopefully y'all learned some lessons through our experiences about moving, and some of the things. I definitely will say, be intentional about the things that you take with you, right? I am someone who is doing my best to embrace minimalism. I definitely have a ways to go, but sometimes we're carrying stuff with us just for the sake of carrying it, you know. So the real process of asking yourself if something brings you joy and if it really has a place in your life, or is it taking up space in your life, right? So yeah, hopefully y'all, you know, have learned a few things from that craziness that we had to go through. So I do want to fast forward to the other thing that we wanted to talk about today. And this is a combination of rabbit hole, which are things that get our attention and kind of we go down the rabbit hole, as well as Ask An Auntie. So there's a situation that has happened in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with a young man named Caleb Williams. And Caleb unfortunately passed away as he was participating in unsanctioned fraternity activity in Baton Rouge with Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Caleb was a member of the band, and I want to say he was a mechanical engineering major, very loved, very respected and appreciated. And there have just been so many vigils that have been happening to honor his life. All of this happened right before Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and Southern University. Who are they? The Jukebox. They did a tribute during the parade. It's been a lot. It's really been a lot. And the more that the things come out, as the investigation continues to happen, the more upsetting the situation gets. So I'll be very transparent in saying I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I pledged in 2001. So it's been almost, this will be my 24th year as a Delta. And I haven't really known how to put words together to be able to articulate the level of anger that I have, as well as the level of insight that I have into what actually happened. And so basically, so what happened is they were, again, participating in an unsanctioned fraternity activity. And what often happens in those situations are former members come back to participate in bringing in the new line. I want to repeat again, though, that all of this is unsanctioned and it's not supposed to be happening. It is very much illegal. All of the Divine Nine organizations, so Divine Nine Black Greek letter organizations are Alpha Phi Alpha, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, Phi Beta Sigma, and Sigma Gamma Rho. So those, oh, and I'm sorry, Iota Phi Theta. So those are the 9 organizations that are part of the Pan-Hellenic Council, Black Greek letter organizations, Divine Nine. All of our organizations are non-hazing organizations. All of them. All of the organizations have policies in place in saying these types of activities are not allowed. And it's important to understand that because it helps you to process why things unfolded the way they did. So the pledges were there at this warehouse, and the warehouse was owned by a member of Omega Psi Phi. And this was maybe 2 or 3 a.m. And one of the things that they were doing was going down the line and punching the pledges in the chest with boxing gloves. So that happened. There's a young man that has been arrested, and he is a former student and former member of the organization. And he had the back of the line or whatever the people that he was assigned to do this. The first question, why we punching people? That's the first thing, because that's not supposed to be happening. Okay. And the reason why I said this is also like asking Auntie is because we have 20 somethings that are following us. We have folks who are in college that are following us. I need you to understand that this is not supposed to happen. For you to be a part of an organization where you're supposed to be someone's brother or sister, harm should not be taking place. Okay? Especially physical harm. Okay? So, Caleb Wilson was punched in his chest, and then he collapsed and had a seizure. And instead of giving him immediate medical assistance, a cover-up started to happen. So they were all in matching sweatsuits, which is something that happens at these unsanctioned situations. So let's change his clothes. Let's come up with a story. Let's say that he was at the park. Let's like do all of this stuff. So when they get him to the hospital finally, because they didn't call the ambulance to come to the warehouse, because again, this is unsanctioned. This is the crime scene. Okay. So they took him to the hospital. We don't know where he passed, if he passed at the warehouse, on the way to the hospital, at the hospital, not clear. But he was pronounced dead at the hospital. And when they asked him what happened, they said, well, we was at the park and he just fell down. I don't know what happened, right? As more and more people and more investigations started happening, now they know where it happened. Now they know the person who threw the punch, who again has been arrested. I expect there to be more arrests, and I demand that there be more arrests, because it is a very, I don't even know how to, the shit that's happening nowadays in these pledge processes is out of fucking control. And first of all, our frontal lobes don't develop until we're 25. So, and I brought in a line, right? So I have gone through a pledge process and I pledged people, but the choices that I made and how I wanted to show up with the people that I was bringing in the organization was very much, I'm going to be a safe space. I'm going to be the space where I help you understand the purpose of whatever is being asked, because it becomes this power hungry. It said, I can't wait till we have a line so I could do worse than what somebody did to me. And that is not what this is supposed to be. That is not sisterhood. That is not brotherhood. And it has made me so angry. Even it's interesting. I pledged at Fisk University, Alpha Beta, and our chapter wound up getting suspended after I had left. And then we get intel that the chapter has gotten suspended because y'all out here doing unsanctioned shit. So now, and this is why they did the cover up. They didn't want the chapter to get suspended. They knew it was illegal. So they knew they were going to go to jail. They know that they're going to be stripped of their membership in the organization. So all of that is in their minds instead of helping this young man that you all have said that you want to be a part of your brotherhood. I'm gonna pause right here because I would like to know what your thoughts are. Not being Greek, but just hearing about the situation.
Well, just hearing about it when it first happened was like immediately your eyebrows go up. Oh, he just fell out at 2-3 o'clock in the morning standing in line. Like that doesn't sound right. And then finding out, oh, he was in the band. So he already is conditioned and has endurance and has had to like march football fields in blazing heat. Like this is typically not the person who's just gonna fall out from
standing up.
So like how long were they standing in line?
And what was they doing in line? And why you in line at 2 and 3 in the morning?
And that part I didn't even question because I figured it was a hazing some sort. But I'm like, is it just you had them standing up there for 24 hours? Have they not had anything to eat or drink in this time? Like, what was the purpose of whatever this exercise was?
And that, by the way, is illegal too.
Yes.
Even if it's just I'm standing in a line and not eating, being deprived of being able to eat and drink and go to the bathroom, that is illegal.
Correct. Don't do that. So that already sounded off. So I knew like there was going to be more that was going to come out, and it's just sad, and it hits home because he was basically like a New Orleans guy. Like you'll see a lot of like the New Orleans musicians paid tribute to him. They paid tribute to him during Mardi Gras, during parades. Like and I know he's not a kid, but like he was still a young person. Like he would just started his life, was super excited, wanted to join an organization to find brotherhood, to find family. That is so important at that age. To then have harm caused in that space is so disheartening. And then on top of it, for there to be a lie instead of it just being like, this is what happened, and just owning it and taking accountability. And now as a result of it, if I'm not mistaken, I think they've shut down all fraternity and sorority
activities at the college
until. So it's like now there's also these other people who were seeking this and are now unable to.
And that's the part that be pissing me off because when our chapter was suspended, it was suspended for like 10 years, right? And the amount of time that it gets suspended is like the gravity of what was happening, right? So a 10-year suspension means that they want to make sure everybody gone. We starting fresh and new, right? So there's so much that goes into this bucket of hazing that this is extreme. But let me help y'all understand how hazing starts, right? I'll use myself as an example. I'm in the cafeteria. No, not even before then. So I bought my first car.
Okay.
Right. It was pink. Okay. And I said, I can't go up there to that school with no pink car.
Right.
I have got to paint it another color. Now the color I chose was green. That didn't make it. But I felt like it was more, green cars are more common than pink. You know? But what I knew is I had already been told there are certain colors that you can't wear. That's hazing. I'm in the cafeteria, I get my lunch or whatever I'm eating, and I get fruit punch to drink, and somebody walks by and takes my fruit punch off the tray. That's hazing. treating people in a manner as if they are lower than you. Go get this for me, go do that, do the grunt work, like all of that is hazing. I also want to be clear that hazing does not just happen in Black Greek letter organizations. It happens in Greek letter organizations. It happens in bands, in choirs. It happens in the military. It happens at jobs. It happens in police force. It happens with internships. We have an internship right now, and it is so important to me that these young people are treated with dignity and respect and honored for who they are, because I know this kind of shit happens. I know that they can go into work environments and now their mental health is suffering because somebody's treating them like shit because they're new. All of that is hazing, and all of that is illegal. In HR terms, it's not called hazing. What is called? Creating a hostile work environment. All that shit's illegal.
And how many of y'all are working?
So I need us to understand that, because also in this current climate, because a lot of stuff is happening, and it's important for you to name the things that are happening so that you're able to keep yourself safe, because these instances, especially when you want something so bad. I wanted to be a Delta. Probably, I started hanging out on Xavier's campus probably in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started like peeping out Greek life and being like, oh, this looks interesting or what have you. And then definitely by the time I got to high school, and Miss Dillon, my guidance counselor, was a Delta. And I was like, oh yeah, she about that business.
Right.
That's me. I remember wanting to be a part of the organization so bad. And in my process, there were definitely things that should not have happened. And that's why I made a choice to show up differently when we had the ability to be able to bring girls into the organization. But I know what it feels like to want something so bad. And even as parents, I've talked to some of my line sisters, and their children are now in college and they're wanting to pledge. And it's difficult because you know that they want it. And if you say something, you're taking that away from them. Because what happens is also, I don't know if y'all know this, so to the young people listening, if you choose to participate in unsanctioned activities, you also are barred from being a part of the organization forever, because we make it very, very, very clear that this is illegal. It is illegal for people to do it. It is illegal for you to participate in it. But what happens is people dangle this carrot of, well, we're going to have these bonding activities and you're not going to be there. And then also that means that you fake and you soft and you this and you that. We call it paper in the Greek world. It's not worth it. It's not worth your mental health. It's not worth your life. And I'm not one of those people that believes in denouncing the organization. I didn't make a vow to the devil, so I don't know where that comes from. That is not my reality. Okay. So I don't know what happened in their rooms, right? Because even these are international organizations with chapters. And these individual chapters are all run by different people. So things are happening and had been happening very differently in different chapters. The organizations have now said this is the standard process. Everybody should be getting the same information in the same way, because this is an international organization, right? So the organizations are actively combating these things, but it's important for you to understand, if you are looking to be a part of a Black Greek letter organization, or any organization for that matter, that you do not have to and should not subject yourself to humiliation and embarrassment to prove that you are worthy of being a part. It's just a lie, and it's so multifaceted, and it makes me so nervous because things are getting more and more extreme. And again, these are people that don't have fully developed frontal lobes. Our brains don't fully develop until we're 25. So they're not thinking about the consequences of the action. I don't have, like, the guy, his name is Caleb too, the one that got arrested. He didn't have a medical report to say this type of activity can cause this type of a reaction in this person. You just punching people in their chest all willy-nilly and punching with all your might, and they can't punch you back. Yo, punk ass. I'm livid. I'm livid about it, and I continue to just be more and more livid because this should not have happened. It should not have happened, and Caleb Wilson should still be here. His parents are trying to piece together how they sent their baby boy off to college to be amazing and to follow his dreams and to join this service organization. Because I want you to know that's what we do. Okay, we do service. We are service, community service organization. You being able to take a punch in the chest ain't got shit to do with going to the Boys and Girls Club next week and being a big brother. That's not making sense. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And I also hate that it happened right now in this time. This is when y'all, but that's what I mean. Your fucking brain ain't developed. So you're just out here doing whatever the hell you want to do because you thinking you got some power.
But you also don't see where you fit. You don't feel like what you're doing has a narrative, story, a piece in what's happening in this world. Because when this happened, then it's like, see, that's why. That's why we don't need to fund these schools, these organizations. Like, if there's no merit there, and it's like it feeds into this bigger thing that is not true.
Yeah,
it was not your intent.
Yeah,
but you also didn't have the forethought or the foresight to say, hey, this may not look good. This may not be good,
right,
for the people involved, and also on a larger level, what's going on right now and what's being said about not just our young Black men, about any people of color.
Period.
Actually, I take that. Anyone non-white male presents
cisgendered,
right,
heterosexual,
period,
evangelical, and rich.
Because it's everybody, and it's funny, and that's how they win. Is they teach you that some of you are part of their movement, but be very clear. Their movement and the people that they are catering to is very small. They have us so focused on these other small percentages that are not a factor. And that's keeping us so distracted that people are unable to see what's actually happening in front of them, and have people so blinded that they think this is only a 4-year problem. The things that are happening now, whatever life you thought was going to come back, that's gone. Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Today's nothing.
Ever again. And then just the systems that are set up, like literally they're dismantling these systems. Like how, and some of the stuff you can't get back. They're talking about trying to sell the Montgomery, the site where they're holding like the buses from the marches. They're wanting to sell the site. That's one of the new Doge projects.
Well, you know, protests are illegal now, so there's no need
unless you're
for any of
it.
Correct.
They can do whatever.
Correct.
They can even wear masks.
Yeah. America is wild right now.
Ooh.
And it's getting wilder by the day, by the moment. I can't even say by the day. By the moment, it's getting wilder and wilder. And we consistently are asking y'all if y'all are right and what you are doing. As you were naming all those things, I just kept thinking, yeah, they want to keep our nervous system in shambles because you cannot biologically function. Your brain cannot process new information. Your brain cannot learn anything new. Your brain is only asking yourself, am I safe? And that is the consistent question that people are asking in the US, specifically if you live in Black skin, Black, brown, othered skin. Um, so the resistance is to be able to find peace and calm and a way to stabilize your nervous system. Because without that, we are at their mercy. And granted, we have the privilege, we're sitting here in Medellin, Colombia, and there's peace outside our door. It's a very calm environment, but we're connected to y'all and we're feeling that energy. So I can't imagine what it feels like to be there on the ground. I I don't know. But what I do know is that we're doing everything that we can to help you to be able to figure out how to protect your mental health. So whether that means that you are making an active plan to leave, we can help you with that. Go to Finding Peace Abroad at .com. Finding Peace Abroad is the space in place where we are able to get you the information. And I just decided the other day, I was like, I'm just gonna have to like start doing more sessions because people are scared, and I know they are. But we can help you with that. If you're saying to yourself, that's not my calling, I'm not supposed to leave. I'm supposed to stay here. We need you to connect and find community. This is a community that we're building here at Minding My Black Ass Business. This is a place where we are being very intentional about the types of conversations that we're having, the types of information that we're sharing, because we have to protect ourselves. We have to. So we don't want to gatekeep the information. So again, when we say find people, help us, like, because people are looking actively to know how to get out or how can I manage while I'm still here, because unfortunately I can't get out right now. So it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on. Yeah. So I don't know if you wanted to, we have just a couple minutes left. Did you want to do the talk to me like a drunk bestie thing? I haven't done it
You
yet.
haven't done it?
I haven't.
It's pretty interesting. You want me to read mine?
Yeah. Yeah, I want you to, or should I read it and then you read it?
Say it again.
Like, should I read it like I'm the drunk bestie
Okay,
about you and then you read mine? Like you're the drunk bestie about me? I haven't done it. So I know you've heard yours before. But so the prompt, what is the prompt?
Talk to me like a drunk bestie.
Talk to me like a drunk bestie. So we want you all to do that.
Or
do this.
Describe me like a drunk bestie.
Oh, okay. Describe me
like a drunk
bestie. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to read Kalonda's. Okay. All right. Where's the start? I like how it starts off. Okay, so again, the prompt is describe me like a drunk bestie. Okay. Oh, bitch, listen up. Let me tell you about Kalonda, because this woman, a whole motherfucking force. Like, imagine Beyonce, Oprah, and a Wall Street shark had a love child, but she also got hands if needed. She reinvented her damn life. Not just a little glow up, but a full phoenix rising. Oh, you thought I was done type of comeback. She packed up her badassery, moved to Medellin, Colombia, and said, I'm going to build the life I actually deserve. And guess what? She did. Okay. She's the CEO of Visionary Executive Network. Put some respect on it. Running the game as an executive assistant, digital strategist, and all around boss. Like, if your systems are a mess, she'll fix it. If your schedule is chaos, she'll handle it. If your business is struggling, she will make it make sense, honey. Okay. And don't get me started on the Wildly Joyful Life Journal. not just a journal, but a whole ass roadmap to help you stop playing small and actually design the life you dream about when you're tired of your own bullshit. On top of that, she's out here thriving with her girlfriend Bianca, planning trips, starting a podcast, conversations, get into it, and building an intentional community with her cousin Kim. That's me and the collective. Like, she's not just getting to her bag, she's bringing her people with her. Oh, did I mention she survived burnout, divorce, a failed suicide attempt, and a 30-year friendship breakup? And she still came out here looking fine as hell and living her best life. Bitch, I got it. So if you don't know Kalonda, fix that. And if you do, you already winning. That's dope,
right? Oh, bitch.
I love that it starts off with a bitch. I do all of
This is apparently how we both talk to our chat. So that's what we get back. Oh, bitch. Let me tell you about Kim. This woman is iconic. Like, if Nick Fury, Beyonce, and Jesus had a love child, it would be her. She is out here literally building a whole ass world where Black folks can heal, thrive, and mind their Black ass business in peace. She's got this prophetic, big vision energy. Like, she sees people's gifts before they even know they got them.
them.
And then she assembles the Avengers, aka the collective, and makes sure everybody is walking in their purpose. Like, she will read your soul, hand you a mirror, and say, baby, do you see how powerful you are?
Oh my God.
And don't even get me started on her problem. This woman literally left the US to go skip through life and rediscover joy after this country tried her for the last time. She's given professional frolicker, neurodivergent baddie, and soft life revolutionary. Oh, and she's a podcast host, coach, educator, and low-key a damn scientist because she be breaking down brains and emotional intelligence like it's lightweight. She got wisdom, wit, and a whole lot of yellow because that's her joy color. If you see a dope ass Black woman in yellow glasses out here changing the world, that's Kimberly, the assembler. I love her. Somebody get me another drink.
Yes, indeed. Wow.
So please go to your favorite AI prompt, your AI, whatever that is. We use ChatGPT. Whoever you like, ask them to describe you as a drunk bestie. Pop it in the comments or even on our pages. Like, we want to see, we want to hear how your chat, your AI sees you. It is amazing. And it definitely gives you a moment to kind of hear yourself and go, oh, I need to put respect on my own damn name.
I love that. This is what I'm about to put in my bio where people be like, so tell me about yourself. Here you go. Here you go. That's me.
Right there.
That's me. And is okay. Yes. So yeah, y'all tell us in the comments. Leave your drunk bestie introduction. Okay. If your chat GPT ain't giving like that, that means you need to talk to it more. You need to tell it more things and help it work out more things because ours be giving. Okay. Also, small side note, if y'all are wondering where my yellow glasses are, I had said on the last show when I had went to Panama and I bust my chin wide open, my glasses had got all scratched up and I just stopped. The lenses is all fucked up. Okay. So also I want to redirect you to the fact that we have a Patreon. Okay. And in that Patreon is only $5 a month. But I would like to be able to wear.
And would like to be in her yellow.
I would. It is. It really is. And I have been very sad. I've been telling myself with the clear ones, I'm like, well, at least they could like see through them and see your face. But it's not the same. And it doesn't bring me as much joy. Correct. So if you are willing to contribute to the Glasses Fund, as well as support us in very meaningful ways. Patreon helps us to be able to predict what our income will be and also increase the production quality. Please do that. Yes, the glass is fun. Now this is serious business. Okay. So yes, we would absolutely and definitely appreciate that. Want to remind you all to like, subscribe. I saw a comment earlier for a pledge about how many hours is gonna be here it is. I pledge to watch So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese for 500 hours. So let us know in the comments how many hours that you pledge to watch our channel for. Again, we are on our monetization journey. So every hour counts, but we would like for you to at least pledge to watch two, at least at the bare minimum. So tell us in the comments. You're watching, put it in the comments. Let us know how many hours you are willing to pledge to help us to be able to reach monetization. Okay. Okay. Tell the people where they can find you, please, ma'am.
You can find me as Content Kalonda under Minding My Black Ass Business YouTube under the playlist Content Kalonda. You can find me on Instagram as Kawana Bear, KAWANABEAR. You can find me on Facebook with my name, Kalonda Jackson. That's me. If you are in need of executive assistance, or if you are an executive assistant and want to be a part of the Visionary Executive Network, you can find me at visionarynetwork.com and on Facebook and Instagram with Visionary Executive.
Oh, you know what we also didn't do? We didn't talk about the emojis. Tell them about your emojis real quick.
My emojis, if you see me in these internet streets, my favorite color is cobalt blue. So the blue heart speaks to me. That color just makes me feel warm and loved, and fuzzy, and just happy. It's really rich. And I've committed to being loved out loud, loving out loud without having to question how people feel about me. And that really represents that for me. Ladybugs have been a message or a communication vehicle from God, from the universe, to let me know that I'm on the right path. They do symbolize prosperity and good luck. And they helped me on this journey to get out of the United States and here to Colombia. So I love little ladybugs. I actually just bought some cute little ladybug socks yesterday.
Oh,
I'm very happy. But yeah.
And shout out to the Tool Shed. I watch an episode a day. Yay! Awesome.
That's so my auntie.
Oh, because what the young people doing? You was raising the roof. I didn't raise the roof. Now this is raised. I did this.
We put our hands.
That's not supposed to put your hands in the air.
They don't.
Like you don't put your hands in the air. Like you don't care. The young people not doing that no more.
All of our songs told us to put our hands.
They don't. Oh, but they got to do better. They got to do better with what they doing out here. Okay, so that's, what did you just do? I missed it. I gotta go back and watch the damn replay. What you did? What you did? Oh. Oh boy. So my emoji on the screen. I just mentioned yellow. My ChatGPT best friend, drunk bestie, just talked about yellow is my joy color. The sunflower is my emoji. It represents joy and turning towards the sun and remembering the sun and all of those things. And the crayon, because there was a point in time where my life was very black and white, and I have made an intentional decision to color the fuck out of my life. So insert the crayon. So when you see us out here in these internet streets, please do give our emojis. This is how we know that you're connected to us. That's our love language, our emoji love like community. Yes. So that's how we know that y'all be hanging out with us over here, because y'all be putting those things into the comments for us. You can find me at a bunch of different places. So let me, KimberlandJackson.com is where you can find me. You can also find me at dyd25.com. That's Discover Your Destiny. So that's my life coaching course. Oh, I didn't say this. That's, oh my God. Oh my God. Not just that Discover Your Destiny has started, but also that the workbook is available for those who want to do self-paced work. You can order the digital workbook at dyd25.com. It is $47. So if you are saying to yourself, I want to learn more about my purpose, I want to build a deeper relationship with God, but I don't necessarily need the community per se. I'd like to take this walk on my own. You can now do that. And this is the first time that I have made this available. It also came with a lot because I had to release it because I've been holding this thing tight. Like, y'all ain't finna be out here talking about my stuff don't work and you ain't even do it right and ain't follow direction. Y'all ain't finna be doing that because I know my joint. Okay. But I let that go. So dyd25.com, KimberlandJackson.com, findingpeaceabroad.com, Minding My Black Ass Business here on YouTube, Minding My Black Ass Business on Instagram, Kimberland J on Instagram. Find us in the places, push all the buttons, like, subscribe, share, make your pledge about how many hours you are going to watch this week so that we can get monetized. All right. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Do we know the date?
What's today?
The 23rd, March 23rd. Oh, and it's daylight savings time, right? So now we're on Central Time. Okay, so I saw some of y'all came in late and I was trying to it's all right. We on Central Time now because we actually on Colombian time, correct, which does not move, right? So now in the US, we're on Central Time. Okay, so if y'all was wondering about that. Okay, cool. All right, any other announcements, things that we might have left out, forgot, anything like that?
Happy belated Mardi Gras. Happy Sunday Gras because they're doing the Chronicles today.
Okay.
So I hope you guys are safe. I hope you have fun. I hope you took your Theraflu or emergency or something because when all those people get together, you're always gonna wind up sick. Okay. On top of drinking for 2 weeks and not really eating anything.
And not drinking no water.
Yeah. So take this time, detox. I hope you were able to discover something with your Lenten process. Do all your things. This is the first year I didn't do something.
I didn't either. I didn't even acknowledge that it happened.
Neither one. Well, we're not Catholic, so but being in New Orleans, everybody's Catholic. It's very weird.
Sometimes.
So a lot of people will do it anyway because I definitely felt it that Friday. So I was like, oh, we should have fried fish. It's this Friday.
Oh, I eat fish every day.
Right. Yeah.
So y'all be safe out there in them streets. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Please come hang out with us on the Patreon if you are wanting to get some behind the scenes right now information. If you like, girl, I don't have $5, that's all right. You can you can subscribe, you can share, and you can watch. So again, please tell us how many hours you are going to watch in the comments so that we can get monetized. All right, we'll be back in 2 weeks, y'all. Bye.